All right, nerds, we're back. And it's still October, which means we're still discussing horror movies. Last week we talked about our favorite slasher films. This week we're talking about our favorite zombie films. And let's just start off with favorite overall zombie movie.
Well, I want to back up a little bit. I want to make sure that we clarify, because we've had some purists attack us on zombie movies. We're not sticking with just the undead. We're including movies that if there's a virus and it takes over, like World War Z or 28 Days Later, they all count.
Voodoo, virus, whatever you want. Yeah. Mad cow disease like Zombieland, whatever you want.
They're all zombies.
If it's a zombie, that's what we're counting. So that is the wide range we are going to discuss here today. Jim, favorite zombie movie?
Oh, man. I'll tell you what. Underrated, because a lot of people knocked it this summer because it had nothing to do with the book. World War Z. I really liked it. I watched it again. Holy cow. Great. But I will go back as a 9-year-old boy watching my first horror flick, black and white, Night of the Living Dead. Did not sleep for, I think, 2 days. Scared the crap out of me. And you, sir?
This is a hard one, because there's a lot of, like, I was thinking about it all day, and I'm thinking, like, oh, well, I really like this one, I really like that one, I really like this one, and I want to say an honorable mention is Fido, because I haven't seen anything like that when I saw that movie. It's a very, very different take on zombies. But going as my favorite, I feel like this is going to pop up a couple times, is Shaun of the Dead. Yeah. Just because I had always been a fan of zombie movies, and I understood corny, like Flight of the Living Dead. There were a lot out there. Like I'll say Night of the Creeps was a very fun one too. But you know, you had hokey, and then when Shaun of the Dead came out, I laughed my ass off. And I never thought I'd be able to do that, like genuinely laughing at the movie of how funny it was. Not that it was like, oh my God, that's so lame. Like it was so well done. Like
I would say Return of the Living Dead is a prime example of the one that's cheesy, trying to be comedic, and it's just like...
And it's like, it is, but it's not, it's not what you...
No, Shaun of the Dead nailed it.
I thought that was outstanding.
Good call.
Such a good movie, which I'll lead into. Favorite hero in a zombie movie is Shaun, because he's totally unprepared, and he just kind of gets by, you know...
Oh, he's a slacker.
In the whole thing.
He's a slacker who just,
But, like, he just somehow knows what to do. And, like, granted, they kind of get screwed there at the end for, you know, split. But I thought that was my favorite, too. Because even in Hot Fuzz and At World's End, the characters he plays, there's something lovable about Shaun. Like, he's trying, but he could do better, and he realizes it. And it's just, he kind of, like, learns to be better throughout the movie. That's my favorite hero in a zombie movie.
I'm going to have to go with Jim. And by that, I mean 28 Days Later. Cillian Murphy as Jim. He's just this guy that wakes up out of a coma, and he's introduced into this world of zombies.
And has to adapt so quickly.
Yeah, and the ending where he is not only fighting the infected, but then he's fighting the military guys that survived, and it's just like this skinny punk dude all of a sudden becomes this huge badass.
Right, like he really steps up and like has to take this.
And at that point, I had no clue who Cillian Murphy was. That was the first time I ever seen him in a movie, so I was like,
when I found out he was the Scarecrow, I was like,
yeah. Hey, I really enjoyed him. Really enjoyed him as Jim.
I will say honorable mention in that, like with zombie heroes, definitely Jeremy Renner in 28 Weeks Later.
Man, when he is pushing that car,
I still
watch it and forget that happened. Forget it. I'm like, oh, he's getting out of the car. Oh, what's going to happen? I'm like, oh, that's right.
No. First time
I forgot.
Because you're thinking like he's going to make it. Yeah. He's going to make it, and he just sacrifices up for and he's not even killed by zombies.
And that might be one of the best sequels.
I will say that is a very good sequel.
Yeah, because when that first came out, I'm like, they can't top the first one. And then they put money into it, and they got Robert, what's his name? Shoot, I can't remember his name.
I don't remember it either.
The main dude.
Sorry, we look awful right now.
Who becomes the main zombie, whatever. But that one, Robert Carlyle, when he's running down the hill after escaping the house, leaving his wife behind, all those zombies are coming down the hill.
But in the window,
and then he jumps in the motorboat. You're like, he's so fucked. Oh my God. Oh, that's such a good opening.
That is a good opening.
Anywho.
Next topic is favorite zombie or best kill by a zombie.
I'm going to have to go back to the original Night of the Living Dead. And this still creeps me out when they're in the basement and the two parents, I don't even know their names. They may not even have names. And they have hid the fact that their daughter got bit. and they have taken over the basement, and the daughter has now turned, and she's a zombie, and she takes the little whatever gardening tool and comes after them. It's like, you're like, oh my God, here's like a 9-year-old girl
And
all
you're
creeped
like,
out.
this is
like,
horrifying.
Oh man, still scares the crap out of me.
My favorite kill by a zombie is actually an automaton transfusion. This is maybe not a widely seen zombie. It's Stephen C. Miller, who is a great director. This is one of his first films, if not his first film. I love the zombie movie. It's low budget, but it's done very well, and it actually ends with a to be continued. And I constantly ask him on Twitter and everything, like, when can we get the sequel? Because it was so much fun. But they're at a house party, and this zombie comes in and rips a baby out of a pregnant woman, a pregnant teenage girl at the party, and just rips it out and eats the baby. It was like, oh, so badass. It was so like, I haven't seen anything like that.
Somebody has some messed up thoughts.
Dude, he's great. Stephen C. Miller, if you're watching this, and I know you're not, phenomenal. Like, I love that movie so much. Now we're going to go to favorite kill of a zombie.
This one's actually multiple ones.
Okay.
Because it's funny. Dawn of the Dead, the remake, when they're on the roof, it's Zack Snyder's, and they're
picking
snipering,
Jay Leno,
and they're like, yeah, Burt Reynolds. I think that is hilarious as they go along shooting people, and that's, to me, is an underrated zombie flick as far as a remake.
I think it is too. There are a lot of people kind of brush that aside.
Yeah, like you can't remake George Romero. It's like, yeah, you can.
He did a good job though. He did a great job. That is great. By the way, I love that part of the movie. Favorite kills of a zombie, I will have to say Planet Terror, and I'm calling this a zombie movie because they are infected and they are running around. But
we established the rules at the beginning.
When he takes the helicopter and points it down and is just taking out all, I thought it was so. It's a Robert Rodriguez film, and it was a Grindhouse film, and that's what I wanted to see, and I was so happy that I did. Like, just outrageous zombie killing. Even Rose McGowan with the chain gun leg, like it was. It's awesome. So that's my favorite zombie kill.
I can see that. And honorable mentions as far as the zombie genre, and I want to throw out here George Romero, because he really created this
what we have today
genre.
Yeah.
I mean, he did with Night of the Living Dead. Unfortunately, he kind of got screwed. I have no idea what the real story is, but somebody didn't file the right paperwork, and he never got the rights for Night of the Living Dead, so he never really got money from that.
It's depressing.
Yeah, it is. But he followed that up with Dawn of the Dead, which is a classic, Day of the Dead, which is fun. And
Day of the Dead is a lot of fun.
He still made more. Twilight of
I
the
like
Dead.
Land of the Dead with, who is it? John Leguizamo, and that's Land of the Dead.
Yeah.
Land
of the Dead is with, oh my gosh, Dennis Hopper.
Dennis Hopper. That was, I thought that was great because they
dude.
really added on to.
I thought that was great.
Yeah. And they kind of give like the zombies were evolving. I mean, you even got that a little bit in Day of the Dead, which was cool to see it kind of come into fruition in that movie. Survival of the Dead was fun. Diary of the Dead was fun. Diary of the Dead was fun, but the first-person camera just rides on me a little bit because I'm always like, God, if you were my friend, I'd kick your ass and break it because this is bullshit.
And another one that I don't like the original that Romero did, The Crazies. But I love the remake of The Crazies.
I thought that I like the original, but I thought that was a great remake.
Yeah, the remake, again, it was just done very well. I love that actor, Timothy Olyphant. He kind of been a good guy lately, but he's been a bad guy up until that point. He was great as the good guy in that one. I thought that was great.
He's a great actor. Yeah. I like him a lot.
We mentioned the 28 days, 28 weeks. That was great.
I'm waiting for 28 months. I really hope that happens.
They set it up.
I really hope that happens because, God, 28 Weeks was such a good sequel. So, I don't know. That's our zombie picks. There's so many zombie movies out there. We really want to hear what you guys like, what your favorite zombie movie moments are. So let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you back here next week.